there. Good afternoon. My name is Lorraine, and we're here at our last of the series of the taking ownership for our well-being through the principles of core alignment. This is my third series of wellness gatherings, so I'm very excited that it turned out well, and we are having a lot of fun. So today we're going to focus on the word passionate. That should be really wind down this series. Okay, Lynne, take it away.
All right. All right. Well, yes, this is our last one, hey? And we're going to talk about being passionate. So we're going to start. We always start with a question that anyone, anywhere, anytime can answer. And we say where we are and say our name and answer the question with the first thing that pops up. So often it's helpful to just repeat the question and then go with what's ever on top of the head or on top of the mind first. And there is a reason that we ask this question at the beginning of the calls, and it is part of the core alignment principles in the sense that well, Madeline, you're familiar with this work. What's the reason we ask a question that anyone, anywhere, anytime can answer?
Well, the main reason is to let go, to be able to just have something come up and you respond. So it is a desire for Lynne to get us in a state where we are freed up, basically, to just be open to what the question is. And I think the other part of it is that we have a tendency to overthink, and this allows us to be more spontaneous. And I think that helps with the process, because if we were going in to do a complete core alignment session, we would want to be able to access different layers of our conscious, subconscious, and
unconscious.
Unconscious. Thank you. I got solved. So this is the beginning of a process, basically.
Yeah, and there's the other reason is it's a rapport building question, and a question that anyone, anywhere, anytime can answer. Is it has no limitations on it or judgments or anything. It helps our minds, our subconscious mind, just to relax. It really creates more of a relaxation. It helps us to get to know each other just in a very light way. And so that's one of the reasons. So we're going to start with the question, and the question for tonight is, what do you do that you easily share with others? And so my name is Lynne, and I'm in Calgary, and something I do that I easily share with others. Well, the first thing that comes up is laughter. Spending time with my family on the weekend, but we are all together, and we don't often spend time together, like sleeping in the same room and that kind of thing, with my two older daughters. Anyways, we had a lot of good laughs, and a lot of it was just laughing at each other or laughing with each other at the silly things and how we're all relating. So that's something I easily share with others. So how about you, Hattie Jane?
My name's Hattie Jane Derica. I'm in the lower 48 in Falls Church, Virginia. And share with others, well, basically of service. I think of us getting together backpacks for folks traveling through, so that they would have ongoing supplies, because oftentimes they don't have anything left when they come through in a state of passage to a safer place. And working with the ladies, and we all get together, we all do different things, and we haul it together and carry it on down. So that when I think of doing something with others and that we enjoy, I think of that.
Cool. Awesome. Lorraine?
My name is Lorraine. I'm in Osoyoos, British Columbia. And what I
Easily share with others.
please share with others my smile. A cheerful greeting. I think that a quick conversation of where they're at or what they're doing, maybe perhaps just say, okay, how was the dog or whatever thing is, and I think that's what comes out when I share easily with others.
Got it. Awesome. Thank you. Olive?
My name is Olive. I'm in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. And the thing that I share easily with others is food. I love to cook and I love to share that food with others.
Awesome. Madeline? Oh.
Sorry, we're just trying to get the dog to stop barking. Sorry. Sharing barking with the dog. That's apparently what I got going on right now. I'm Madeline. I'm in Calgary, Alberta, and something that I easily share with others. Well, playing games. I love playing games when the family gets together. It reminded me when Lynn, you were talking about laughing, and games, getting together and playing all kinds of different games. That's what first came to mind.
Awesome. Awesome. Food and games and laughter and smiles and helping people out, right? It's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we'll take that into our conversation today because we are at this junction of completing something we've been focusing on what? It's been 10 weeks. Is it 10 letters? I'm not sure, but it's like a season. We've been focusing on a different concept for the last season, the last 3 months, really. That's about 10 or 12 weeks, and
9.
we're finishing up with being passionate. And so let's just start with a question. Being passionate can bring up a lot of different things. I think being passionate has to do with what I find interesting, where I like to put my attention, and I think it's the same for other people, but where they are passionate might be completely different. So when you think of the things that you're passionate about, what is the first thing that comes up? Lorraine?
Well, I think when I think of the word passionate and that feeling of passionate, I think for me, to get that feeling, I have to have a real good night's sleep, because then I get passionate about a task that I feel that I have to get at right away, early in the morning, and that between 8 and 11 is my passionate time, it has to be preloaded with a real good sleep, because otherwise I drag my ass.
Got it. So what is something that you are passionate about?
Just being creative. I get ideas of doing blogs. I'm just finished a blog yesterday. I was passionate about the content, and I'm not quite finished with it, but I like doing blogs. I like writing about things I see and things that have come across my day or my awareness. And I think, well, that's an interesting thing to talk about and to express and write down. So someday, I guess all these blogs can be published.
Awesome. Awesome. How about you, Olive? What's something you're passionate about?
Passionate about music. Not so much singing or producing music myself, because I am not really good at that. But I love listening to music. I love sharing music with other people. Music is what I'm passionate about.
Awesome. Madeline?
Something I feel passionate about. I think one of the things that I really find myself wanting is to be a moderator, to be the peacekeeper. And I'm quite passionate about not having things go off the rails around me. So, usually I can be the one that is kind of the even-tempered one. And if there's a row of some description, I'm thinking back to like when my kids were small and being, they were, obviously teasing one another or something. I would be the one to go want them to understand how the other felt by being the one getting beaten on or manipulated or whatever to be the thing. So it was, I don't know, I think about stuff when it's like I never thought any kind of discipline was good for a kid in terms of, go and sit in your room and be left to your own devices. I would just talk their friggin' ear off what it is they did and how they were not being fair to the other person or whatever the circumstances. So I think that I'm quite passionate about that.
Good. Awesome. Thank you. How about you, Hattie Jane? What's something you're passionate
my
about?
thought was when we said passionate was, get the sex joy, but those hormones are still there somewhere, but that's not quite right in mind. That's another session. But when I was thinking about passion was, again, the times in which I have put myself out and confronted people that I felt were mistreating or treating other people unrespected, not being nice to them, and be downright mean. There's a word that's not coming out of the head. And I remember ordering a surgeon to leave the operating room with me and inform him that his patient was just going under anesthesia and they could still hear. And the way he was talking about her was not appropriate. And it was not to be that way.
Got it.
And other times this happened.
Well, it's interesting when you think about this word, right? It's very broad. I mean, I hear all the different answers, right? It's a very broad word. So what I think about, I mean, something that I'm passionate about, when I think of things that I'm passionate about, they're things that come through me automatically without me. Like, it's like my driving force of attention. And sometimes I don't know whether I'm choosing it or whether I'm just so in it with it that it just is just coming through me. And I think being passionate, right? Or having passion is part of, my birthright. I think it's part of our birthright. We all have our own energy and we have our unique ways of expressing ourselves and bringing forth and learning in different ways and contributing in different ways. And when it comes to our health and our wellness, many things can either make our passion go like this or make it go like this. And so I think it can go both ways. Sometimes it's about justice, right? Sometimes it's like you say, it's just not right to see things that aren't, when something is just not right, and speaking up or standing up for someone who, helping another recognize that this other person might see it a little differently, right? Or that it's just mean or whatever. Or like in music, I mean, music is the same thing. It's like to sit in a concert and just witness somebody delivering amazing music is very passionate. Like it can elicit that sense of passion. Or writing, getting an idea out onto a piece of paper. So I guess, coming to the end of this series and looking at, what difference will really make a difference for you as we go forward into this next season, and as we take a bit of a pause, and, so what ways can being passionate or having more passion really make a difference in your life as you go into the Christmas season and come into the new year? Madeline?
I think the, undercurrent is that it is energy, that the word passionate, however it's, played out, it's an energy. And I think that energy is what makes something either really fun, or it could be really scary. I mean, if somebody is it's like passionately defending someone, it can be a little bit scary, but it just is that energy, I think, is what is incredibly attractive about it. So especially in the Christmas season, people can be a little it could be either really kind of down because their expectations aren't being met, or they can be extremely happy because they're wonderfully surprised. But I think the energy of the word passion and passionate is what is amplified in kind of the Christmas season. And plus everybody getting together, right, can be sometimes explosive.
Totally.
It can be explosive as well as fun. So
Exactly.
you never know what it's going to be.
Yeah. How about you, Olive? What difference can your passions or you being passionate make for you?
Part of passion is enthusiasm for whatever is happening. If it's a family gathering, let's be enthusiastic about it. Let's enjoy the moment and do our best to make sure others enjoy the moment.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Hattie Jane?
I was just thinking about our Thanksgiving get together, and different. What was the question again?
Well, just looking at the difference that being passionate can make as you move forward into this next season, and as you're taking care of your health and your wellness. And
Well, when we say the word passion, I don't think of it existing in a state of sadness. I don't think of it occurring with great woe or angst. And maybe a little bit of angst, but not a negative type. And so, but it's also something that maybe is identified as an individual, maybe something that we're used to toning down a little bit, as opposed to just giving full rein to it, because we hardly admit it to ourselves. And it's so going forth, it's nice to think about, I'm old enough now to be me. And now maybe I can go have some fun with what I like and say it out loud.
nice. Nice. How about you, Lorraine?
How I'm going to deal with passion going forward, or how it affects me. I think it's as I say, it's energy, and it's just keeping my day in a structured way, that I have, some little tasks that I want to get done, and and I think it's motivating, And because if you don't have motivation and everything is, you don't want to do anything. I mean, you have to do things. You have to put food on the table and cook and, clean and things. So it's just that I think having motivation to keep going every morning, every day, it was something that's of interest to me. And going into the new year, I think I'll continue on doing that. And it's the motivation.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, I mean, being passionate about something does kind of put a little bit of a beat in the step around that energy behind anything. It's, something can be really uplifting to, like when somebody's really passionate about something and they're sharing it, there's a tone to it. There's
So
something
feeling.
magnetic about it, right? It's contagious. And it's like laughter, right? Like, I mean, something that's really funny can just really get things going, right? So when I think the difference, how I see being passionate or having more passion, and the difference that it can make in my life, I think it has to do with, keeping myself healthy, having good relationships, having fun, seeing the humor in a lot of things. Like I think a lot of times, especially this time of year, there can be lots of emotion and lots of different feelings and a lot of wide spectrum of feelings for everybody. Some may be down, some may be up. But I think the passion can actually enhance the communication, and it can give me the opportunity to share more of who I am in a real way, right? Maybe say the things that I might not in the past would have said, or share something about myself that I might not usually want to share. So I think, being passionate or having passion, I mean, it feeds into our purpose and the things that, make our lives worth, living, and the things that we like to share with other people, right? So I guess, what's one thing that you can bring more passion to in your life? Lorraine?
What one thing that can bring more passion to me?
That you could bring more passion to.
That could bring more passion.
Yeah.
I think just keeping my mind sharp and being aware of, and I like what you said, and I certainly agree, is finding humor in little things. And, just a conversation we have and find it funny, and not, and have that positive energy in that mindset. And it's truly a mindset too. And it's not difficult if you keep practicing it and you live it all the time. You're not judging anything. You're just, okay, this is the way it is. And I think really, in essence, in living in the now, right now, this moment, and not carry things, other things, but living in where things are right now that's a very passionate feeling. If you've got that, if I've got that uplifting, positive, humorous, smiley feeling.
Yeah. Olive?
I think what I could probably bring more passion to is my my fitness and exercise. I was quite passionate about the pursuit of exercise before COVID hit. And then it became difficult. Gyms were closed. We weren't encouraged to even go walking at a fitness center. So it's been a struggle to reestablish that. So that's something I'm going to do, is become more passionate about fitness.
Cool. Patty Jane?
Self-care and encouraging people, bringing together the things that I want to demonstrate to people so they can feel some of the things I can express, but it's hard for them to imagine in a physical manner. And at the same time, to be able to feel enthusiastic with my passion. Because it's like after a while you get kind of quiet about it, you know? It's like, yeah, I know, I've like for 26 years, that's been really good for me. Doesn't mean something to anybody else, but it doesn't me. So it's, and I thank you all very much, Lorraine and all for getting together at this, on this space over the wires. And it really has tickled a lot of thoughts in me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you all.
Thank you. Madeline?
I think getting more, I think I have gotten quite small in my habits, and not been as open to being out and about as much. And I think that is something that I would like to get a little more happening, just in terms of variety. So passion about more variety in my life. I think I'm going to go with that.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, what will you take with you from this conversation that will support you until we talk again? If you reflect back to the very beginning too, maybe include something from where we started back in October. Madeline?
Something that I will take with me from these conversations, well, certainly the variety of ideas about all these different words, that alone is focusing on different words and really focusing on them brings a wonderful variety to thoughts, just as Hattie Jane had said, right? Just makes you think. So this idea of doing more of this kind of thing really intrigues me, and so if anybody was doing more, I'd be in. So I think just having that time to get together and have these conversations, I will always appreciate.
Olive?
I will take with me the appreciation of delving deeper into a topic or a word. I see a new word, or if I'm reading and I come across a word that I don't necessarily use or maybe even understand, I want to look farther into that word, to Google it or look it up in a dictionary and just have more passion about words.
Yes, indeed. Words can be very triggering, you know, because I can hear a word and our minds will go right to that file and open that file and then download all whatever in the past, right? And part of our conversations is we're gathering more information to add to that file, because yeah, passionate might mean something completely different to somebody else. Thank you. Hattie Jane?
Oh,
What will you take with you that'll support you until we talk again?
that I've been very, very fortunate to have these last couple of years. It's brought me a new awareness of myself and new outlets, and I'm pretty lucky. And I just want to take it forth and build on now. with
Awesome.
all the strength that that has given me
Hmm.
and you all.
Lorraine?
What I'll take away from this conversation till we meet again. Well, I think it's just the excitement and the appreciation of everybody else's positive reaction and comments. It's given me a purpose to put something simple together and have a response, and a positive response, and an appreciation. And I'm truly grateful for all that. It really makes me feel real good. And I couldn't ask for it to be any better than this.
What else is possible?
Yeah.
Well, what I will take away is, yes, I mean, taking a concept, having an idea, and then creating something that I don't know what it is. Like that's, you know, it's sort of like, it's like taking an idea and building on it, but it's through the community of others, right? And especially focusing on different concepts, different words, and seeing where that goes. It's like a word can have a meaning in one way, but there's so much more. So I'll just take away that there's just so much more. There's always so much more. And so what will you take with you that will support you for the rest of your life, Lorraine?
Well, I'll just the rest of my life that we can do this, and it's something that's easy, and it's doable, and it's just heartwarming. So I think that's what I'll take away, because it's certainly doable, and we've got to do some brainstorming for the next session. So I open that up after I shut off the recording.
All right, Madeline.
Sorry, it's a little bit noisy now, so I'll make it brief. I will certainly take with me the camaraderie. That's what I enjoy about this, and everyone having their say, and it not being about right or wrong. It's just wonderful. Yeah. So that's a very, very warm gathering that is not often shared. So I will take that with me for the rest of my life.
Patty Jane, what will you take with you that'll support you for the rest of your life?
But anyway, then I'm going to have fun getting to the 100-year mark.
Not far off, is it, Hattie Jean?
Awesome.
Well, you know, in life, we start out as a kid, get through the schools, be part of that, be part of the family, involved with the things, get through the different stages of life, different stages of activity. And then as you come up in what we call older years, and you start to notice that a lot of the folks that are passing are younger than you. It's just like, whoa. But now with self-care and the things that our technology and our lives are allowing us to know about, we really can get to that 100-year mark if we use some common sense and work on it.
Awesome. Olive?
What I will take forward with me for the rest of my life is how this is so good for brain health. I come from a family where dementia is pretty common, so I'm always doing things to improve my brain health, and this is I think the last course I took mentioned 6 pillars of brain health, and this touches on, other than exercise, I guess we could exercise while we're talking, but mental stimulation and social engagement, and just stress reduction. It's just it's a good thing to do. That's what I'll take.
Awesome. Well, what I will take with me is the principles of this work, are based in a lot of different modalities or lots of different thought forms. And one of them is neuro-linguistic programming practices. One of them is just aligning our conscious body with our subconscious thoughts, feelings, emotions that we've gathered through our life, and then aligning with that unconscious heart, that place that's always there since we were conceived in our mother's womb. And through these conversations, we have this ability to create new neural pathways. And that's partly what a lot of these conversations are all about, is we're always creating new neural pathways. And because it's not so much getting rid of the things, we often think of getting beyond things that might have been dysfunctional or whatever. It's adding to it so that we can have more of a choice of which way to go. So it really does, I'll just want to acknowledge it. It's based in a lot of research from other places, but it does help brain health. It's really good for our brains, and it engages us in a whole different conversation. And it's anywhere, anytime, at any age, conversations like this can be had. So what I want to take away for the rest of my life is that to see more of these conversations being had in other places, in other facilities, in other ways, because it's very simple, and I think anyone can do it. So thank you for showing up and playing and smiling along.
Anyway, thank you very much, Lynn. We're quite enjoyed this series. So